Hi, second graders. It is time to add color to our I Am poems. So the first thing that we're going to do is get all of our supplies. You're going to need a paintbrush. You're going to need a cup of water or a tray of water. And you're going to have to get some markers. Now, your markers, you really want the nice and colorful ones, because if you get the black or the brown, well, it just doesn't end up not as vibrant and bright. So we're going to make sure that we use the Roy G. Biv colors. That's what I call them. Roy because it's red, orange, yellow, and G for green, and Biv, BV for blue and violet. So it's my Roy G. Biv colors, my rainbow colors. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take one of our markers, and we've created these spaces in our poem with our letters, if you did your letters all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom like you were supposed to. And we're just going to trace or outline that shape. And then after we have traced or outlined that shape, this is where the real magic happens. We're going to get our brush wet in the water. Now, I have my water here, and there's a few rules with the brushes that make it so that our brushes stay really good and nice and working well for us. So the first thing is whenever you are putting your brush in water, you never want to jab it in the bottom of the cup or a tray. You want to brush the bottom, almost like a mop. You want to mop the bottom of your cup, and then when you pull it out, it's really, really drippy and wet, and we don't want that much water in our brush. So we're gonna swipe it a couple of times so that we don't have drips wanting to fall off the end of the brush. And then we're gonna set our cup aside, and we're gonna take and pull the color from the edge of our shape into the center of our shape. And by doing that, we have color filled in our entire shape. Then it's just rinse and repeat. So I'm going to set my brush down on the table. I am never going to leave it in the water, because that is a brush's death, being left in the water for too long. I'm going to pick up another color, and you can go in whatever order you want to. Looks like I've got the next color in the rainbow, which is fine too. And the trick is that you want to try and keep all of your colors separated. You don't want any of the same color to be touching. Oh, I had one too many drips on there still. So again, I'm going to pull it from the edges and paint the inside of my shape. Rinse, set it down on the table, never in the cup. And even with my A, I have two shapes here. So I'm going to do the top shape, and then I'm going to do the bottom shape. And when you've got the smaller shapes, they spread a little bit easier. And you see, I'm just kind of doing the process over and over again, where I trace, get my brush wet, swipe, pull the color in, rinse, and set it on the table for my next color. All right, here I go. I'm gonna finish it up. You'll find that with yellow, sometimes you want to use that in smaller areas instead of bigger areas. It doesn't spread near as well as the other colors. So that's just one tip. Another tip is that as you are tracing, notice how I'm using the edge of the marker, not the very tip of the marker. So this is the difference. If I use the tip, I have just a really narrow line. But if I use the edge, I have a nice fat line. The fatter the line is, the more paint that you have to pull into the center. here's what it looks like when it's all done. Nice and colorful, nice and bright. Can't wait to see what you create.